now. So if you miss some in the future, we'll give you some avenues to go ahead and get the recordings. Now I'm going to go ahead and share the entrepreneur cash map that we started with a few weeks ago. Sorry, wrong one. And what I wanted to do is just give a brief recap of where we're at and how we got here. And that started with the entrepreneur strategy cash map. As this is coming up here, you should be able to see this. The entrepreneur strategy cash map. Here we go. And we started a few weeks ago with this strategy for how you can be successful in entrepreneurship. So beginning with your entrepreneur activities in the upper left-hand corner, where our start node is right there, and then moving into. Let me get this out here. Starting right here, and then moving into radically boosting your productivity, and which we talked about last week, and then solidifying your finances. So we're going to talk tonight for a few minutes before we open up the floor about doing just that, solidifying your finances. And then we're going to move in, looking ahead to next week, we're going to be talking about defining your hedgehog concept. So, figuring out what it is, if you're at a point in your business that maybe you're new to entrepreneurship, or trying to supplement a full-time job with a secondary job, then next week's one of those that you want to be here. So because we're going to talk about ways that you can identify your niche and really solidify that. So awesome, Ron. Yes, thank you for the anatomy of a cash map package there. So remember, our cash map packages have this high-level strategy, and then all these detailed action cash maps, more detailed action cash maps that show you how to implement the strategy cash map. So what we're going to do right now is we are right here on solidify your finances. That's where we're at tonight. And with that, we have a full package, a full package that's called the Financial Survival. Let me try to get that in there. Financial Survival Cash Map Package. These are cardstock prints that I'm looking at here. And you can see there's a whole slew of them here. All right, so let me just show you on the camera here. This is the strategy cash map that you're looking at, okay, on the screen. And this is actually orange here. Oh, that's not our, that's not my. Oh yeah, it is. It is. Okay. This is the financial strategy cash map. So this is one I'm going to pull up on the screen in just a minute, and we're going to walk through each of these steps through here. Now, let me pull that up so you can kind of see what we're doing here, and this will then help you to grasp this and what we're talking about exactly tonight. Here it comes right now. Bingo. All right. So let me zoom in here. Now it makes sense when I say what you're looking at on your screen matches this right here. Okay. Now, if you'll notice that every one of these steps, cash steps we call them, has a little folder icon. You'll see it there. You'll see it there. Okay, and this is on the Financial Survival Strategy Cash Map. Every one of those folder icons means that there's another cash map underneath it. Another one underneath it that shows you all the details, for instance, of how to develop a financial strategy and how to organize your financial records, how to establish money relationships. All right, so keep in mind, and here's the deal for tonight. Ron just dropped a link in there. Thank you, Ron, to the Financial Survival Cash Map. And you can download this strategy cash map right here for free. And you can do that, and you can go to that link now or later. I'll tell you this: you can pick up all the action cash maps. They normally retail at $197. They sell on their site for $77. You can pick those up tonight. The whole set of action cash maps for there's let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 action cash maps here. You pick that whole set up for $37. $37 tonight. And for the Busyness Live special, you can pick any additional cash map package that we have in our arsenal, 60 plus. You can pick any one of them and simply send us an email or a support ticket. We'll give you those links later. And so you basically get two full packages for only 37 bucks. So that's an awesome opportunity, for you guys tonight. So with that, I wanted to just point that out. That's not hiding anything here. You want to do that, great. You just want to absorb the talk here at the high level strategy level. That's awesome too. If you don't even care about this and you're just waiting for me to stop talking so I can answer your business questions, very cool, no problem at all. So with that, begin financial management. So we are in at the left, upper left there. Begin financial management right here. Hey, somebody, can you see my cursor, the screen on the screen when I move that? I'm over top the financial management. Okay, thanks. Um, we will. Okay, great. All right, so in Ron, Dave, if you guys figure out how to submit a question in there, if you can find out if there's somewhere to click and submit a question, please go ahead and let us know that as well. So Sterling, I see your hand raised. If you've got a question, if we can find the question area, great. If not, go ahead and type it into the chat window there. I'm going to clear that for now. So begin financial management. We always start on the cash map where the start node. In this one, it's the upper left called begin financial management. And we move into 1.1, which is, do we have a financial strategy? And that diamond shape there, that diamond shape right here, is a decision diamond. So that decision diamond means that there's two or more options, a decision that has to be made, and two or more paths that you can come out of. So in this one, do you have a financial strategy? It's either yes or no in this case. It's a binary. If no, you're going to move down here into develop a financial strategy, right? And that's where we really want to implement, a financial strategy for your finances. And this is where folks, right out of the gate, just break down. And it's not just finances, right? It's your business as well. So many entrepreneurs and business owners just hop into trying to make money online or sell whatever product they have without a sound strategy that guides their direction. And so the same thing goes with your money. Things like gathering all your financial records and assessing your current situation. Do you need a financial advisor? Is that financial advisor part of your strategy? Do you need advice? If you do get advice, then filtering that advice. The old Bernie Madoffs and such people of the world that blindly following somebody can get you into a lot of trouble. The setting objectives. So understanding as part of your as part of your financial strategy, what are your objectives, right? I mean that's one of the big things that people just live from paycheck to paycheck or less, are struggling to pay bills, and there's really no bigger why. There's really no understanding of what is going on, here. And I'll tell you a little personal story. We took my wife and I took a class through Dave Ramsey called Financial Peace University back in 2001. And it's all about a lot of the same type of things I'm covering here, but it's about managing your money, getting in a cash positive and in a cash focus, so you're always spending cash and not using credit cards, and in getting out of debt. And we followed that for 10 years now. But the last year and a half after moving down here to Florida, we kind of got away from that. We kind of got away from our strategy. And we were just kind of going through month after month until 2 weekends ago. 2 weekends ago, my wife and I sat down and rededicated ourselves to our strategy and started to really look and doing some of the things I'm going to talk about tonight, setting a budget and so forth. But the point here is to really, really, really have that that strategy that allows you to figure out who you need advice from, filtering that advice, determine, setting up so that you can plan for objective saving and spending, and really start to take advantage and grasp those finances by the tail, so to speak. So, anyways, 1.2, that's developing a financial strategy. If you don't have, if you do have one, or if you didn't, and then you created a financial strategy, the next thing we want to do is follow this path over here over to organizing your financial records. And you can see on there, you want to begin to clean up your personal money mess by identifying, organizing, communicating to loved ones the location and access information to important financial records. Very, very important here. Not only to organize your financial records for you personally, while you're here, we're putting your feet on the ground for another morning. But if, God forbid, something should happen to you tomorrow, that you don't leave your family in a lurch, because if you're not organized, how can the rest of your family understand what was going on with your financial situation? So hey, listen, I'm the first one here. We've got a living will and trust that it needs to be updated. This is one of those things where it's tough to do, but it's something that is all the way at the beginning, right? Step 1.3 here, because it's so important. And we get into that on that action cash map of how to do that, the steps necessary to organize your financial records. Moving on, one of my personal favorites here, 1.4. Now, 1.4 is a situation here that I just feel is so important. Oh, I made a little arrow there. That's cool. So you can see, there we go. Boom, we're on 1.4 now. So let me get rid of let me get rid of this stuff. Ooh, I'm kind of fun with this little thing. Let me get rid of a few of these things and clean up my drawing here, and then we'll talk about 1.4, establishing money relationships. Um, all right, there we go. So establishing money relationships. Uh, Now, what's important with this is the fact that um, there we go. Is people try to go through life and go through business by themselves, right? If you're an entrepreneur like me, you're blocked away at times, being busy and getting caught up in your daily activities, and you forget about the relationship side of it. You forget to, for me, I have to make a conscious effort at times to really take time out to sit down with my wife from a business standpoint and explain to her, hey, what's been going on, what are the next exciting things coming on, where are the challenges been. It's the developing that relationship, and this being open with your spouse, your children, other loved ones, maybe an accountability buddy or something if you're single, or another, girlfriend. Um, Money relationships are so important. The number one reason for divorce, right, is uh, money. It's money, and it's sad, but that's what the truth is. Now, I've experienced this firsthand. you know, this is an area, actually, there's a whole bunch of other areas we don't do, maybe don't do as well, but this is an area where my wife and I do very, very well. As I said, we kind of fell off the wagon the last year and a half, but when you sit down and budget together month after month after month, it's great, and it's just part of, it's just an understood of where you're consulting on what major purchases you're going to make and that sort of thing. But I have personal experience here with my parents, who kind of are, live two different lives from a financial standpoint. For the past for but almost 35 years of marriage, that they just don't really talk, and we've really been working with them, and it absolutely just opens up channels for communication and love, and it just breaks down barriers when you're able to talk openly about money, no matter how hard it is. If you got debt hidden somewhere, you need to shine some light on that, and talk to folks about that. So establishing those money relationships are very, very important, and can go a long way with bonding, with improving your marriage, improving your relationship with your children, that sort of thing. So that's 1.4. Now, 1.5, implement a saving strategy. On this particular action cash map, we get into the details about saving with a purpose. So why are you saving? So for instance, um, in this area here, we follow a lot of the Dave Ramsey principles, where it's develop a short-term savings plan. So get $1,000 put away in short-term savings. So because when you're spending cash and not using your credit card, you need that little bit of cushion. So get that $1,000 put away in the short-term savings. It absolutely, calms your fears if you got something in the refrigerator that goes, or you need tires on the car or something like that. Get that short-term savings put away. And then you can start to work on long-term savings, getting 3 to 6 months of savings put away in the bank, so that, if you lose your job, if you get injured, something like that, something happens, unexpected occurrence, that you're not worried about where the bills are going to be paid for the next month. So that's just a couple of core foundations of implementing savings strategy, but much more on that particular action cash map 1.5, which is right here. This is action cash map 1.5, where we give all the details of exactly how to implement that saving strategy. So don't forget every one of these steps on here. 1.2, develop a financial strategy. That is this guy right here. 1.3, organize your financial records. That's this guy right here. Establish money relationships. 1.4, that's this guy. Implement a saving strategy. That's this guy. See, so there's an action cash map that goes along with every one of these steps on the strategy, high level strategy cash map. And so don't forget, you can download this strategy cash map, this particular one right here, by going to the link there in chat, cashmap.com/financial-survival-cash map. Absolutely free to download the strategy cash map. So moving on here, and I know I'm going pretty fast, but again, we want to change this format a little bit. I want to wrap this up in the next 10 minutes so that we can open up questions on this or anything to do with your business, your marketing, anything you want. We're going to open this up, blow the doors off here, and have some fun. So have debt 1.6. Ron, will you check that link, please, for Kathy? Thank you. 1.6, have debt. Do you have any amount of debt, other than a first home mortgage? Most people have, a mortgage, right? And but that a mortgage is considered good debt. Things such as credit cards, department store, 90-day same as cash accounts, that sort of thing, that is considered bad debt. And but the question here isn't to really get in a he said, she said, poking hay, or hiding here of what type of debt or how much you have. The question is just being open and honest with yourself and really getting this written down onto a piece of paper so that you know how much debt is here. And then what we get into off of there is if you do have debt, right? If you do, and we're down here now, if you do have debt, then we're going to actually follow a path here to put in place, this debt elimination plan here. Okay, and on that one, the debt elimination plan, we get into how you build that action plan that allows you to break down because I'll finish the statement to break down that overwhelm because you know back, let me think. I'm trying to think time frame now. I left the automotive industry as an executive in an executive role in early 2008, and for the first 6 months things were great, but then the next 6 to 8 months before things really took off, I ran into some tough times there. I racked up about $50,000 in bad debt, in credit card debt, and it's easy to roll up, right? It's like putting on weight from a health perspective. It's easy to put on, or at least it seems easy, and all of a sudden before you blink, and it's been a couple years, and you put on 50 pounds or whatever the case may be, and it just seems easier to put it on than it does to take it off. And that's the same way with debt. Many of us, maybe yourself, you're in this situation where you've built up tens or even six figures in credit card debt. That's not unheard of. Unfortunately, the society, it's very, very common, and it is what it is. The point is that you probably built, if you do have debt, you've probably built that up over an extended period of time, and it's not just overnight to get rid of it. So the challenge really is to get a plan, to be strategic about it, to figure out your action plan. What are your steps? What are the actions? And how are you going to attack that debt? And that's what we cover on 1.7. We get into all the details of this. It's a super motivating way to be clear with your debt, to line it up, to say this is how I'm going to attack it, and actually be excited as you start to knock the debt off the rung. So you think of a ladder with all this debt. Basically, what we do is we show you how to build a debt ladder, and on that ladder, each rung is another piece of debt. And you start at the bottom and you knock it off. And as soon as you get that knocked off, you go to the next one. And the way that we do it is it's actually compounding, so that you can get more and more knocked off faster and faster. So debt elimination, if you have debt. Now, if you don't, you have debt, or if you did and you implement that debt elimination plan, now we're going to get over to the cash flow planning piece. And this cash flow planning piece is just super, super, super important. This is the part that's kind of like balancing checkbooks, right? Now, I don't balance checkbooks. Um, I just don't. Quite frankly, we use everything we do is electronic, so we don't even use a checkbook. But I dread balancing a checkbook. Now, you should, but I don't. Anyways, cash flow planning is one of those things where it's like people don't like to do a budget. That's what this is all about. Cash flow planning is budgeting your cash flow. Dave Ramsey calls this a zero-based budget type approach, where you're allocating every dollar that comes in to a spend category. So there is no, there's no money that's just kind of sitting there and you're not sure what you're going to do with it. You're allocating every dollar to some type of spend. And in there we show you exactly on that action cash map how to implement that cash flow planning methodology. um, and to do so in a way that is freeing. It's not really it's not that constrictive budget feel. It's a cash flow plan that you're going to look forward to building each and every month. So that's 1.8. Now let's move over here to 1.9. Implement a cash focus. I mentioned this a little bit earlier about stopping to use credit cards and getting into you just spending cash all the time. This is where we're at right now. You can see I'm having fun with the little drawing tools here. But implement a cash focus. This is where if you live on cash, cash is king, and that's the old adage that is just so true, and that's why you're seeing gold, skyrocket. I don't even know where it's at right now, but it's pushing somewhere up in the $1,300–1,400 an ounce range. I mean, it's crazy, and it's because other than the United States dollar and the potential fear of inflation, that's what's driving gold up. But the point is that cash, as opposed to credit, right, is king, and so we live in a society that really leverages and utilizes and relies upon credit. This is where you're going to see a book from me in the near future called Effortless Productivity, and one of the concepts in there is about it's called Buck the System. If you've watched the Effortless Productivity web TV show, you've also seen a segment in there called Buck the System, and that is taking action in a way that is different. It bucks the system from everyone else. And if you want to, if you want to produce results like everyone else, like let's say health, you want to produce like the results like everyone else, then eat at McDonald's, eat fast food, do all that type of stuff. Same thing here. If you want to be poor or to struggle, financially for the rest of your life, then do what everyone else does. In part is take out loans that and just max out your credit limit, take out more debt than live above and beyond your means. If you want to turn that around, then buck the system and take actions that are not is not probably what all your neighbors are doing. I'll give you an example here. Taking cash out and putting them in envelopes, allocating those envelopes for certain things, so that we have an envelope for entertainment, we have an envelope for restaurant, we have an envelope for gas. There's certain things that we pull out of our income every month and put them into, according to our cash flow plan, into cash envelopes, and we carry cash around with us. And we've done it for 10 years, so it's not a big deal now. But so many people are like, you're crazy, why don't just put it on credit card, just put it on debit card? You know what? No, because that's what most people do, and that's why they don't control their spending. They're overdrafting their checking account. They're running up tens and tens of thousands of credit card debt. No, spend cash, spend within your means. So that's implementing that cash focus there. Okay, moving on. Negotiate bargain deals. I'm gonna move this map here up for you a little bit so you can see, because we're now down in the last few steps here. 1.10, 1.11. We're right here now at 1.10. Then we'll get into 1.11, 12, and 13 and finish this off. Remember that each one of these green things with the little circle right here, every one of these little circles. Let me just I'm sorry, not circles. Every one of these things right here. those little folder icons, right, indicates an action cash map that's beneath it. So um, those are right here. Those are right here, and those are what you can pick up. But negotiate a bargain deal 1.10. The 1.10, when you're spending cash, you're in a position to bargain and barter and get better deals. If this is something that Dave Ramsey tell, and I'll just give him the credit. It's a great example, but it's true. If you go into somewhere and let's say they have something for $1,500, and you take let's say 9 crispy $100 bills. If you work things right, there's a darn good opportunity for you to walk away with that $1,500 item for $900 as soon as you're able to whip out $900 crispy $100 bills in front of that person. Cash again is power, and it's one of those things that for instance, paying cash for a vehicle, gives you much more power in the negotiation than if they have control over you when you're trying to finance something. Okay, so but that's where this all works together, is to really increase your buying power by using cash. Now, investment strategy here. I am not going to give you any investment advice. A huge disclaimer. I'm not going to get into that. But what you want to do is you want to really understand what your long-term goals are, and to begin to implement investment strategies, even if it's small, right? So we have many of you may or may not know, but 5 children now, a 4-month-old, a 4-month-old, a 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 9-year-old, and you know, we know we're going to have a big shortfall most likely by the time 5 kids get up to college, right? But we put 50 just flat out. We put $50 a month away into a Roth IRA for them. It's a college, a 529 savings plan, and okay, that $50 a month for each, that's great. But when you project that out, it's going to be a huge shortfall from what's necessary for them to get through college, and that's fine. They're going to contribute to their own education. But the point here is that even though it's going to be a shortfall, we still do it, right? So because we have that strategy, we have that long-term investment strategy to at least go in that direction. That's our intention, and we're taking actions in that way. So there's small, consistent actions of putting that little bit of money away every month, even though if that's all we do the next 18 plus years, we'll be a little shy, right? So, but in the rest of the stuff with the investment strategies, there is really get yourself a financial advisor if you're not an expert in that area. Find somebody. And the best way that I've found to find a financial advisor is to do it through word of mouth. Word of mouth referrals. Find somebody who's found somebody else that loves them, trusts them, and so you're not just calling somebody in the yellow pages or going online searching Google for somebody in your backyard. Now, managing your credit. This is something that I do regularly now. I never did for longest time. I just never want to pay the money. Now I invest in I think it's free credit report or whatever. It's a few bucks a month, and they'll keep tabs on your credit report, your spouse's credit report. If anything changes, you get an email and you can hop in there and see what it is. But if you don't want to pay any money, which I'm not sitting here advocating money for this, there are ways to get copies of your credit report for free. I think one time per year. Don't quote me on that, but the big TransUnion and Equifax, and there's one more. There's 3 major credit branches there. Experian, thank you, Corbin. You can go to them, and I think there's a way you can actually get a free credit report from them. Even at freecreditreport.com, I think you can get a basic level credit report. Do that. Understand where your credit is, because if something gets messed up on there, it's harder to get it removed than it is to cause the damage. So definitely want to manage your credit. We get into that on this cash map. That's Action Cash Map 1.12, and we actually talk about on this one right here. We actually talk about things like ways to if you find things on your TRW, Equifax, and TransUnion. Yeah, that's what it is. So let me put those in here. It's actually TRW, Equifax, and TransUnion. Those are the. Now, if you find discrepancies on your credit report, we get into here how you can actually dispute the request, or issue a dispute request and that sort of thing. So that's on that action cash map there. And now let's move on to the final step here. Increase your earning capacity. Right now, this is where entrepreneurship comes in. This is probably one of the reasons why you're here, because you are in business for yourself. Most of you probably are, and whether it's your full-time focus, whether you're doing something on the side, moonlighting like I did for years before I went out on my own. You're trying to maximize your earning potential. That equation for wealth, is rather simple, right? It's what comes in uh, minus what goes out, right? Is your wealth, and so you can control that wealth by increasing the input, bringing that up high, and decreasing the output, right? So that wealth building is maximum in there. So it's kind of is on both ends. This one is talking about increasing the earning capacity on the front end, creating multiple streams of revenue, creating residual streams of revenue. Ways to leverage your talent, your expertise, and that's what we're going to talk about next week. Starting off with your hedgehog concept and everything, figuring out where is your sweet spot. If you don't have a business yet, where you're trying to find something, or kind of confirming what the direction you're going now. We're going to be talking about that next week. But finding those other jobs, or use jobs liberally there. Whether it's you working for yourself, or extra jobs working for somebody else, but just increasing that earning capacity. And really, that's what in part what cash maps are all about, right? To position you in a way to guide you with proven systems to do the things, take the action necessary to build a successful business, a successful, profitable, and sustainable business. So that is that, folks. That is the financial survival strategy cash map at its finest. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this up here. It's 10:10, so we've got 20 minutes here at least. And what I want to do now is just kind of open up the floor, for any questions related to this particular cash map package, or any of our cash map packages for that matter. If I'll keep talking here if there's no questions about some other things, but jump in. So if you have something, just go ahead and type it into chat. We need to figure out. I apologize. We'll have this nailed down for next week. There is a Q&A pod here that I just opened up, and if you can see the Q&A pod on your window, I'm kind of covering the whole financial strategy cash map here. Raise your hand or say something in chat if you can see that Q&A pod, because if you can just go ahead and type in the Q&A. You type in your questions right there, and I'll get those. I'll be able to see those and answer them. Corbin with the little smiley face there. So maybe that means you can see it. Let's see. All right. All right. So here's the deal. I want to remind you first, while you're coming up with some questions there, to well, I'm trying to get this little arrow off of here. There we go. I wanted to remind you that you can pick up the strategy cash map. Ron's put a direct link in the chat window there, and you can also go to the first link that he put in there, the financial survival cash map, and download this. And actually, there you can pick up inside your cash map membership account. You can pick up the action cash, the whole set of 11 action cash maps for only $37. And tonight, you buy that tonight. If you send us an email, I'm going to give you a couple emails here. You can just send us an email at support@cash. Actually, I'll give you another one. sales@cashmap.com, or you can go to CashMap. Hey, Ron, go ahead and put the support link in there, would you too? So if you buy the action cash maps, what I'm getting at is you can pick any one of our other cash map packages. You just let us know what you'd like unlocked, and we'll unlock it for you. That's a $77 value on top of. I mean, here's some of them, right? Here's some. Sorry, here's some of them. Facebook marketing cash map, right? So we get into how to leverage Facebook as part of your marketing efforts. I'm just going to go over a few of them that I have sitting right here with me. There's over 60. There's over 60 of these, packages in your account, in your free Cash Map account. Here's another one. There you go, Ron. Thank you for putting that support link in there. Here's another one. Feed Blitz Cash Map, an awesome, awesome service. We use ListPing, and Feed Blitz for your email management, and we'll go ahead and be covering those in the future here, maybe about 4 or 5 weeks down the road when we get into the autoresponder and list building. But ListPing or Feed Blitz. So no affiliate links here. I'm just giving you these straight out. There's Feed Blitz. So that's our Feed Blitz Cash Map package. Then there's, let me see, LinkedIn marketing. Now, as I'm going through these, right, I know this looks like just an overt sales ploy here, but it's not. What I'm trying to jog some stuff in your guys' minds here. Questions. You got questions about list building, about autoresponders. You got questions about Facebook, leveraging Facebook. We got a couple Facebook experts online here. LinkedIn. What's working, what's not working on LinkedIn. Got questions there. Go ahead and ask them. Let's see what else here. Facebook fan page. How to leverage a fan page, for as part of your marketing. I see a couple questions coming in there. I'll get to those in just a minute. Here is Lyft Cash Map. Legal, insurance, financial, tax. We partnered with Alexis Martin Neely on that one to build that one. This is an absolutely awesome package here. This is one of my favorites, absolute favorites that we've ever built right here. Lyft Cash Map. Okay. Private label rights. Ever heard of a gentleman named Paul? Oh my word! What is my mind is just absolutely blank right now. Paul from Nichology. Paul Evans from Nichology. Thank you, Ron. Oh my word, Paul. I hope you don't watch this, buddy. Man, he's a good friend of mine. We're in a mastermind together, and my mind just totally went blank there. But Paul Evans. Absolutely awesome, phenomenal guy, kind of under the radar. He's the owner of Nichology, but we picked his brain, worked with him to put together this private label rights (PLR) Cash Map package. Maxine, I see your question there. I'm going to get to it in just 1 second. List building strategy Cash Map. Okay, list building strategy Cash Map. This is a great one for increasing traffic, in a cost-effective way. But I'm going to give you some more. This was with the Barefoot Executive. Carrie Wilkerson, we worked together, on that one. So I just showed you maybe 6 or 7 packages. We have 60 of these in the Cash Map account, and you can get the strategy Cash Maps for everyone for free. So, anyways, all right. So let's take a look at a few of these. Maxine, how do you increase traffic in a cost-effective fashion? Great question, right? One of the biggest challenges that we have as entrepreneurs, business owners are leveraging the online world as one of our marketing spokes is to generate traffic. And especially when you're just getting started, generating traffic in a cost-effective way is a challenge. So here's the answer to that. First thing, this is what I would do. Okay. First thing is article marketing. Absolutely, first thing you want to do is article marketing. So with that, and for really, Maxine, for you being the first one, here's what I want to do for you. For you being the first one tonight to jump in there and ask a question, I want to give you a copy of our article marketing full package. Okay, so if go ahead and maybe give me some applause or something if you don't have that, so that I can see that, because what we'll do is we'll make sure we get your information, and then yes, okay, good. So Maxine, send us an email at sales@cashmap.com, okay, and we'll get that unlocked. When you send that in, let us know your CashMap account username if you have an account, okay, and we'll unlock the article marketing CashMap package, the full thing for you, okay. Here's the deal. Article marketing is very simple, right? There's a few tricks to it, but it's very simple. Anybody can do it, and it generates a ton of traffic over time when you're consistent at it, and it's free. Okay, so you want to write articles that are in, say, 400 to 600 words, maybe 500 to 700 words, and and then go ahead and submit those to some of the main articles, like easing articles first. That we give you a whole bunch more in the cash map package I'm going to give you. So take a look at that. But just number one, articles, right? That's where I would start. Number two is video. You can do some real inexpensive things on video too. So a lot of folks aren't comfortable getting on camera, but if you just talk about let me give you a way to do that. Whatever your niche is, come up with the top 10 questions that people ask you about your niche, and film like a 2 to 3 minute video on each one of those where you ask that question, and then of yourself, and then you answer it. Okay. Now you can create a free account at TubeMogul. You can go into TubeMogul and distribute that video to 7 or 8 different video sharing sites. You can submit it directly to YouTube, and so right there you can get it out to 9 different video sharing sites. The one that doesn't show up in there, in addition to YouTube and the ones you see at TubeMogul, and one that gets a lot of traffic is 7Load. So you definitely want to go to you want to submit it to 7Load. .com as well. So, but article marketing is free. Video marketing is free. The other thing that you want to do to get some free traffic is to write maybe a free report, sometimes something of value that you can give away. So, whole bunch more ways to do that. In fact, we have about 15 to 20 of our packages are traffic generation. Many of them are free. So and your free cash map account, Maxine, look at all the strategy cash maps, because even if you don't invest in the action cash maps as part of your growth, you can glean a lot from the strategy cash maps, and then figure out which ones of those traffic generation strategy cash maps you're interested in, and then maybe invest in the action cash maps for some of those. Okay, so that's a good way. Now, Ron, yeah, so explain in detail the structure of the package. Okay, so the strategy cash maps versus the action cash maps. So here we go. One more time, let me just give you an overview here, right? So we have this is you're looking at on your screen here, right here, one cash map. All right, this cash map is a strategy cash map. So it's like that 30,000 foot level of what to do. What is the strategy here for financial survival, right? Then each one of these green, I'm just trying to get a highlighter here real quick. Each one of these green steps, right, on the strategy cash map breaks down into a lower level, more detailed action cash map. Okay, it looks just the same, and you can tell that because there's a folder icon here. You can see the little folder icon right there. All right, so that's the difference between a strategy and action cash map. They look the same. It's just the level of detail that they get into. The strategy cash map's a little higher. The action cash map is just more detailed to that. So, all right. So let me scroll back down here. Can nobody see the Q&A pod that is up? Let me go over here, because I'm getting no questions in that. Man, oh man. Okay. So somehow we're gonna get this working for the next few weeks. Yes, Dave, I can see that. Yes. So however you did that, please type that in there down there, because then that way people can ask questions in a little bit more private. Okay. So if it just popped up, there we go. All right. So now it looks like people are starting to see that. There we go. Okay. Now we're getting questions rolling in. This is great. Okay, Sterling. All right, so I'm starting a company. Let me get to Sterling. I saw his first. I'm starting a company that needs high-level executives to answer the phone or speak to you. How do you build credibility using social media, if possible? Yeah. Okay. So to answer the phone, Sterling, can you elaborate on that a little bit? Are you saying that the high-level executives will be calling? Is that who your customer base is, or is your niche and your customer base are high-level executives, and they're the folks that are going to be calling in? Is that your question there? If you could kind of elaborate on that. I'm going to jump over to Gary's here. Gary said, for video marketing, do you need an expensive camera in the whole studio deal to get the max quality? Great. Hey Gary, have you seen my Effortless Productivity web TV show? You could just type in the chat or whatever. Let me know if you've seen that at all. All right. Not yet. Okay. So I want to show you something right here. I'm going to flip my. This is what we said, folks. These nights after we go through stuff, it's going to be raw, live, and unedited. So here's the deal. I'm going to flip my computer right around, and I'm going to shine you right into a light here. Okay. Now here's my studio. All right. Sorry, my office is a disaster right now, but you can see a light. You can see that I have the one catch light there. Okay. You can see a little tripod that's sitting there, and that there is a microphone there, but I don't even use that. So here's what I use. You can I got it right. I use a Kodak ZI8. I use a Kodak ZI8 flip cam for all of my stuff. So Gary, when you get a chance, make sure that you go to busyness.com. Look at the Effortless Productivity show there. That is filmed on this flip cam with that little setup right there. One light, okay, and you can even do it without the light. But this camera is about 180 bucks. Go to Radio Shack, and I don't think I have it right now, but there's my microphone is a little wired mic that costs about, I think the microphone costs $26, and there's an extension cord that costs 10 bucks, like a 16-foot or 20-foot microphone extension cable. That's it, brother. That's all you need to produce high def videos. Okay. Now, even short of that, if you have a webcam, like I'm using my webcam on my Mac right now, my MacBook Pro, use that. If you don't want to spend the 180 bucks on say a Kodak ZI8 flip, use that. I mean it's as simple as that. So great question, Gary. Great question. We do have our video marketing cash map package that would get into a lot of that, the cameras and and things to think about. So let me clear out some of this, some of these here, so I can see what I've got here as far as questions and stuff. Great, this is great with the questions coming in down here. All right. All right, Sterling. I want to get back to Sterling's. I'm going to do that in just 1 second. Corbin. Yeah, Corbin, we do. Corbin asked, does myself or anyone else at Cash Maps offer private consulting service on an independent contractor basis? Yes, we do. We do work with independent entrepreneurs through large Fortune 500 corporations. So we do. And go ahead if you want to email at sales@cashmap.com. You can. You know what? Actually, here, email me at you can email me directly at bradsemp@busyness.com. That's the best way. If you want to talk to me about that, Corbin, go ahead and just email me there, and we can chat about that. That's great. Great question there from you. Let's go back to Sterling now. Okay, so Sterling, you're calling on high-level executives starting from scratch. You want to make sure they have a strong social media footprint. Nowadays, people say, "I'll Google you." Yeah. All right. So, wow, where to begin with? Is Dave Vans on there? Yeah, Dave. I should turn on your mic, but we're short on time here. Let me give you an answer. And I first want to say, I know we're pushing 10:30, but I'll stick around, okay? I'll stick around. So we finished, and technically, if you need to leave at 10:30, go. But I will stick around, continue to answer questions for as long as you have questions. So I'm yours, Sterling. From a social media standpoint, so here's the deal. Many people with social media feel that social media is like the end-all, be-all, okay? And it's really not. It's only one avenue or tactic for expanding your reach, and it ties into everything. For instance, people are so tied up in the numbers. It's like, oh, how many Twitter followers do you have? How many Facebook followers do you have? But you know what? I'd rather have 100 Twitter followers than 10,000. And if those 100 people are people that engaged with me on a consistent basis, and I had a relationship with, they trust me, and they're buying my product, investing in my products and services, and I'm providing value to them. And same thing with Facebook. So the deal is, and social media for me is this: it's that you need to be there, right? So you definitely need to be there by having accounts on the major Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, having your site positioned on on Google, for instance. One of the things you were talking about trust. How do you build credibility and trust? One of that, just being there is one of those things, right? And in consistency as well. So, for instance, if you were to go to my Twitter account, you're going to see a particular picture of me with in black and white. And you go to Facebook, you're gonna see that same picture. You're gonna go to LinkedIn, you're gonna see that same picture. If you go to busyness.com, you're gonna see that same picture. Now, why is that? That is because I want to build credibility and trust so that when somebody says, "Who's this Brad Semp character?" and they go to Google and they find bradsemp.com or busyness.com or cashmap.com, and then they go to Facebook and they're searching for Brad Semp, and they go to LinkedIn, they search for Brad Semp, they see me with a full-fledged, personalized and configured profile on all of those main sites. They can see my engagements. They can see who I'm talking to, that sort of thing. So, there's no tricks. There's no necessarily secrets, and there's a whole bunch of detail we can get in there. It's really hard to answer that in a short period of time. But, if you want to email me, Sterling, further on that, we can talk offline on that a little bit. So we also have our social media cash map. We have cash map packages that get into all the different social media avenues, as I was showing you: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and a whole bunch more. Squidoo, boy, a whole bunch more as well. So hopefully that helps you a little bit there. Yeah, and as Dave says there too, that Dave's got some really good things there too. If you look there, Sterling, Dave's saying in the end, people want value. Absolutely, they want value. They want to see the real you, right? And as Dave says, there's the information that you're putting out there. So, being consistent, showing up consistent in different places, being consistent in the information that you put out, and value, not just crap and you had Wheaties for breakfast. Great. What's the value? Let me give you a little tip here. Not just for Sterling, but for everybody here. Here's another tip that I've learned. Now, this comes from Dr. Ron Capps. Okay, if you've ever been to a JV Alert Live event, you may have seen Ron. He's a professor at, I believe, Southwest Missouri. He's a social media expert. And recently, him and I were talking, and we were talking about how you touch people through social media. And so many people are trying to just put out as much as they can, oftentimes trying to sell their stuff, right? People don't want that. They don't want to be sold. They want you to be an expert. They want to trust you. They want to hear what you have to say and how you're going to help them. As Dave says, the information that you give them is so important and it must be valuable. Here's a tip to provide valuable information on a consistent basis that will help you to establish trust and credibility. All right. Let's say that you put out 10 posts across social media. 8 to 9 of those posts should not be you as a mouthpiece. They should be you finding valuable information in your niche that you are commenting on and passing along that somebody else can find and leverage and use. That is a super, super key there. Think about that. It's not 10 posts of you saying, "Hey, do this. Oh, hey, here's a tip for that. Oh, hey, go buy my product." 8 or 9 out of those 10 is you're saying, "Oh, hey, check out this article from Dr. Brad Semp. He provides great information on getting out of busyness, and I think that getting out of business is so important. You need to check this out." I mean, that's just an example of using my a plug for myself, but in your own niche, find some valuable information, pass it along. That's how you can become noticed as and recognized as a trusted confidant in your niche. Super, super powerful there. All right, the talk to Corbin there. Gary, so is there a cash map for mobile advertising? That is a great question. Ron, our 60 plus packages, I think we do have one for mobile advertising. I'm sorry, Gary, I cannot remember off the top of my head. These packages have been built over the past 2-3 years. And, when we build them, we put them into, we leverage, either the stuff that we're doing and it's been tested, proven out, and then they're put into the documented form, or we go out and find an expert in an area as I've mentioned, some of the experts we work with. So as Ron's looking that up or will be commenting on here, cash mobile marketing, mobile advertising. I'm pretty sure we do. I know we have an iPhone app, one for sure, but I can't remember on the other one. All right, so Maxine here. How do you feel about appreciation marketing as a tool for customer retention? Um, Good. That's a great question. Um, yeah, thanks, Ron. The iPhone app. So there's one thing I want to do here before I answer this question, because I could take this in several different directions. Maxine, if you could give me an example of what you would define as appreciation marketing. Just kind of throw that in there if you can, and then I'll get back to that question here, because there's several different things I could take that. I'm going to move on to Sterling. Do you have separate social faces, business versus personal? That's a great question. That's a great question as well. Different philosophies on that. Okay, so here's kind of how I approach it. People want value, and they want to know you as a person. They want to know you as an individual. They want you to provide help to them, provide value to them, provide valuable information to them. So for me, my answer to that, and again, not always a right or wrong answer here, but my answer to that is my social media profiles generally are me. Okay, the main ones that I use are me. So if you go to Twitter, I have Brad Semp. You go to Facebook, I have Brad Semp. If you go to LinkedIn, it's Brad Semp. However, there's also then brand building pages off that. So I do have a cash map page on Facebook. I do have a page for my Effortless Productivity web TV show on Facebook. I do have a Twitter account for Busyness TV. I do have a Twitter account for Facebook. So, you need to be very, very selective. It's okay. Excuse me. It's okay to have pages and social media accounts and stuff for the business, um, but people still want to know who's behind that business. And so the key is number one, not to get overwhelmed by creating all these different social media accounts, right? Number two, to clearly understand your voice and the difference of your voice for your personal accounts versus your business accounts. So the information that I communicate on CashMap, for instance, on a CashMap Twitter account or Facebook account is different from, right? Different from the information that I put out on my own personal stuff. And so, that's the way I approach it. Here's the deal. People brand their names. You've got to brand your name to a degree. But if all you're doing is branding your name, and again, God forbid a bus hits you tomorrow, then you have no sustainability. You have no legacy there from a standpoint of being able to pass on a valuable asset of the business and all the hard work that you've done, pass it on to your spouse or to your family, other loved ones, that sort of thing. That's why the business brand is so very important. But behind a business brand, it still rolls down to typically, a person, at least when you're starting out, until that brand gets so big, you get into a Coca-Cola, McDonald's, that sort of thing. There's not a face to that. But when you're starting out as an entrepreneur, there's that fine line between you and the business, and that's why your question is a very great one there. All right, so let's see. Yeah, and there is that. You got Dave and Ron are laughing here, but absolutely, Dave Vance here, who's online, is an excellent social media expert here, and you can check him out at davevans.com. As he's saying there, people often relate and communicate more with a person. Same thing. Maybe I wasn't saying that so eloquently, but that's what I was saying there. So yeah, okay. So Maxine, great. Okay, great. Sending a gift after a purchase of a car. Yeah, and let me go back and make sure your question here is sending a card to a customer. Yeah, okay. So here's the deal. This is why appreciation marketing, in my opinion, is so important. Okay, and it doesn't have to be a big gift, like you said, sending a card. Leveraging a service like Send Out Cards or something is so important. We live in the society being so busy as it is, and so impersonal through all the electronic touches, the electronic mediums, that any way that you can show the humanistic side of you, to show that you are human, to show that your soul and your relationship with somebody is extremely important. in building the relationship with somebody. Now, and ultimately, the people that are going to buy from you and who are going to recommend you word of mouth to their friends and family are the people that that do trust you and that that want you um, to to look to you as that valuable trusted resource. So for me, from appreciation marketing standpoint, that's where that comes in. It comes in because anything that you can do to touch that client again, to show your human core, and therefore then develop a relationship with them is going to go a long ways. And if you can do that in a way like send out cards or other things in an automated fashion and in a low cost manner, that's better, better than not. So yes, Ron, we have something that actually touches on that area called seasonal marketing cash map. So great. All right, so a couple more here that's coming through. Keep asking. This is fine. This is awesome. All right, so yeah, Gary says, here's a question. What is the best way to plug a new service or product, especially when there is no other similar product or service? And therefore, hence, you have no trend or you have no case study. Do you do something for free to prove your service or product? Yeah, you know what? That's it's a great question, Gary. And what you brought up there is right on. It's spot on. That if you have no documented, demonstrated experience, testimonials or case studies of what your service or product can do, then yeah, you're fighting an uphill battle there. So one solution to that is to find a group of people who will commit to putting your product or service into action. For in exchange for the case study. Of how things happen. That's why you'll see people that will come out with a new consulting program or something at times and do it on the cheap, the first time through, and then they come out the second time and you see them charging $3, $4, $5,000. For people that are really good at what they do in their particular niche, they can do that because for that first time through was getting the case studies down. So that's no doubt, Gary, the best way to get about that um, is to put something in action like that. If you're in the internet marketing space, the Warrior Forum is a great way to, go to the Warrior Forum and post an opportunity to trial your product for free in exchange for, testimonials and stuff. That's a great way there. Yeah, you're absolutely welcome, Gary. Let's see here. Let's see if we got anything else here. Let's see. I'm getting caught up in my chat window here. So you're welcome, Maxine. Okay. All right. So with that, I think I've answered all the questions here. I'm gonna, I'll stay here in a couple minutes. I just want to give you one more opportunity here to ask your questions. Here's what I really. Gary, okay, in the informational, or I'm sorry, the internet marketing space. Here, I'll give you the link. I'll type it in here. Okay, it's the warriorforum.com. From an IM perspective, if you're in that niche, that's a great spot to go. And you're going to want to go to this, create an account, and go to the section. You can just post, follow the posting rules. I think you can post something like that in the main forum. I haven't been in there in a while, but there's also something that's called a Warrior Special Offer or WSO. You got to pay like $20 for that, but you can submit a WSO and get put your product out there for to get free people to trial it for free. So okay, so Maxine, I have a business that is expanding, but I need to diversify my financial streams. What ways can I provide an informational service for income? Okay, Maxine, what's your business type? I need to know a little bit more about what type of business it is there, and then we can talk about that a little bit. And hey, I love the interaction on the chat over there. I know everyone's not. I don't see everybody in there, but some of you, if you have comments on this, again, this is interactive. This is raw. This is live. I'm sure there's going to be things that at some point here somebody's going to stump me, or you won't necessarily agree with my answer. Maybe I'll even come back next time and say, you know what, I looked into something like that some more. I don't have all the answers. I've just been doing this a while and love to try to help out as much as possible. So, But so we'll answer Maxine's question here. If you got something else, go ahead and throw it in here. Just as the questions start winding down, we'll we'll start to wrap this up. So okay, awesome. So beauty products. Okay, so physical. So most of your products then are actually physical products. It sounds like, and you're asking how to diversify how you can get into the info product side of things. Okay, so one of the things in send out cards. All right, great. So one of the things with if you have a physical product is looking at the areas in which your customers have the biggest challenge. What is the biggest? What are the biggest problems per se? The pain points in your marketplace. So and if you're selling wigs and hair pieces and that sort of thing, I'm sure that you can identify some very very specific points of pain and that sort of thing, right? So couple things. One thing you can do is from an informational standpoint is provide something of value like a free report or that sort of thing. Now what that's going to do is not necessarily create another revenue stream, but you could create a free report. You could do a video series of short videos and distribute them, as I talked about earlier, to sharing sites. And to do that, then you have to drive all those articles or that free report or the videos, drive the people back into your into your website. So that's more of like a traffic generation, list building type thing. The the other thing that you want to do is, there's lots of opportunities. There's almost more opportunities than not to create informational products there out of that stuff. I mean, you can create a report or a how-to course or a little seminar here. Maybe something on how to whether it's how to make wigs, uh, how to put them on, that sort of thing. So I'm kind of grasping a little bit. We may have to talk a little bit more, but to go through what products you actually have, and that sort of thing. But yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think of a real concrete example to say, okay, this is how you could create another, an info product off of that. But it really starts with what I said, which is understanding what the pain points are, and then in addition to here's the Maxine. Let me summarize again. You're selling products to fill a void in your niche market, to address a pain point, to solve somebody's problem. All right. What do you miss just by selling those products? What else do people want? Do they need help with their mindset? Do they need help with their attitudinal adjustments? Do they need help, with their emotions to feel happy, to not feel left out, to feel whatever that may be? And then, there's lots of different formats that you could build an informational product, whether it's a web TV show, whether it's a set of videos that you sell, a DVD, or a written report that you sell. And you can turn all that into physical products. So lots of different ways. You just have to. I don't know your market well enough to say exactly which one of those would be best. So, but and also, hey, Brad Sump at busyness.com. Maxine, if you want to ping me there a little bit, we can talk there a little bit through email. I've got just so you guys know, I do have a backlog of emails, so it won't be responding in 24 hours or anything like that. But that is a spot that you can get me, Brad Semp at busyness.com. So, all right. So I want to remind you. So here's the deal with as we wrap up tonight. This strategy cash map right here that you're looking at, right? The financial survival strategy cash map, you can download for free. Absolutely for free. If you create a free account at cashmap.com, you get 60 plus strategy cash maps for free. All right. So that, just so you know that. Here's the deal tonight. The deal tonight is if you buy financial survival strategy cash maps, or that set of action cash maps, right? You go onto our site. If you're downloading the strategy cash map, you'll get an upsell funnel. You can buy it right there. If you go into your cash map account, into the back end, just search through all the products, find the financial survival strategy, click that, and go to click on that and go to the page where you'll say unlock the action cash maps, unlocking all of these. So if you buy those, then here's all you need to do to get a free package. Send an email to sales at cashmap.com. You can G-Talk us at Cashmap Systems. or you can submit a support ticket by going to cashmap.com, clicking on the support link, and just tell us that you bought the Financial Survival Cash Map tonight and that you'd like to unlock whatever package it is. And we'll go ahead and give you a free full package, any one package that you want out of our arsenal as a thank you for your interest in your investment in our Financial Survival Cash Map package. And also, thank you for attending tonight's Busyness Live event. So, absolutely, if you're not following us right now, a couple things. You follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/cashmap. Also, reminder, we're Cash Maps, Busyness coming together here, right? Cash Maps are a tool to help you get out of busyness. So I absolutely want you to make sure that you go to busyness.com. And I know we got lots of links flying around here, but busyness.com and register for the show updates. There's a brand new show set to come out tomorrow of the Effortless Productivity Web TV show. We're 3 episodes in. It's a weekly every Thursday. I would love your feedback. So comment on those videos, bad, not good, whatever it is. Email me at bradsemp@busyness.com with feedback. I really would love your feedback to help answer the types of questions that you'd like to get answered. Now, all right. So with that, I'm gonna start. I see Maxine might be typing something there. Maxine, is there anything else that you have before we sign off for this evening? Next week, we're going to be back, Business Live next Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern again, right here. And we're going to be talking about the hedgehog concept and focusing on your business. Please help me by inviting all of your friends to this, your business colleagues. We're going to take the same format where we're going to answer questions. I'm going to give you an overview. We're going to answer questions, and and from there we will have fun with this week after week after week. So with that, looks like that's all the questions for tonight. Thank you for being here. I'm Dr. Brad Semp, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on the Effortless Productivity Show at busyness.com, and then next Wednesday right here again on Busyness Live. So thanks everyone for your time. Have an awesome, wonderful night. Take care. Bye-bye.